Good afternoon and welcome from Sepang, where the cars and drivers are getting ready to start the Malaysia Grand Prix. Five lefts and 10 rights make up the 15 corners of Sepang's 3.4-mile circuit, a track where the weather always threatens to play a deciding factor. The drivers will be subjected to forces in excess of 4G and heavy braking zones in 4 of these corners, 2 of which come at the end of DRS zones into turn 1 and to turn 15. A tough race in store then for our drivers today, so tell me, Anthony Davidson, what will you be looking out for as the cars make their way down into turn 1?
Well, first of all, let's hope that everyone's well behaved and we can have a nice incident-free start. That initial release is going to be the most interesting thing. The clean side of the grid will be better rubbered in, so keep an eye out for cars over there potentially making their way through.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Perez, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Grosjean and Felipe Massa, Sainz, Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen and Alonso, Palmer, Stroll, Stoffel Van Dorn and Pascal Wehrlein. Ericsson and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Hello and welcome to this video on F1 2017 at the Malaysian Grand Prix in Sebastian Vettel's Ferrari. As there's no league racing anymore, I haven't been uploading many videos lately, and I've decided that I need to do some videos. So I went back and played F1 2017 at Malaysia, because I think it's a really nice track and a really nice game, and did a last to first challenge on 110 AI, just to see how my skill is still on this game, if I'm still any good. And the new game is coming out in a few days, so there will be league racing soon again, probably a few weeks after release. I don't know what I will be doing the first few weeks of the game, but yeah, I'm happy that I can finally make some content again relating to F1. Let's just get into the race, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Here we are then on the grid for the race start. The 5 red lights are all on now, and it's lights out and away we go. The race is started. I'm starting on the soft tires, as you can see, with most people obviously on the super soft. Switch to the right hand side, past the McLaren of Van Dorn, the Sauber of Ericsson, then Alonso and Wehrlein on my left hand side as well. 4 wide going to turn 1, a break very late, diving down inside of Williams of Lance Stroll there. Already making my way up into P15, gaining 5 places at the start. Now trying to go around the outside of the Renault of Julian Palmer, who is a name I haven't heard in a long time actually, at least, he's now doing analysis, I think, for F1, I actually don't know. But yeah, we now go into the next corner down inside. Actually, yes, we do go down inside of Carlos Sainz and Felipe Massa there. And sliding on the accident a little bit, but I managed to get the pass done already up to P12. Really good start, I would say. And having made up 8 places in the first sector, now chasing down the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, who, well, actually, the more I look at this field, the more I see how much has changed since 2017. I mean, so many names have either switched teams or not in F1 anymore at all. But yeah, as we now go on to the back straight here, I hope you're still somewhat aware of what the Malaysia track looks like, so you know where I am in the lap. But yeah, as we now go down inside of Kevin Magnussen, down to the last corner, braking as very late as I can, down inside of Danny Kvyat actually, not on purpose, but almost sliding into him. Actually do slide into him, and we make some contact, but thankfully I managed to save the car. But now Kevin Magnussen is trying to come back at me. Down the inside as we make our way into turn 1, checking for any damage, can't see anything thankfully. And Kevin Magnussen, I have to leave him the space on the inside, but I should be able to get him through the corner here, as the Ferrari obviously has a lot more downforce than the Haas. But he's still actually there, but now finally I've gotten ahead of him, and I've secured P11. So yeah, 9 places made up on lap 1, and now chasing down Danny Kvyat as we jump once again to the backstreet here. This corner is very difficult to get right, especially you will probably notice how I'm getting better and better throughout this race. This was actually the first time I played F1 2017 since Mega Career Online, I think, actually. Since we did that in that. since we did the game in that. But yeah, now round the outside of Danny Kwiat through the final corner. Bit of slot and exit, but this time I get the move done, and that's me up into a top 10 positions. But he is still near me, but I think I'm pulling ahead of him. Not any opportunity for him to go down inside, and I stay in P10 now, chasing down the runner of Nico Hülkenberg and then the half of Roman Grosjean. So yeah, so many names that have changed in pretty much every team. I think the only team from this season that still has the same driver lineup is Mercedes with Hamilton and Bottas. And well, we are now almost close enough to Nico Hülkenberg because we dive down the inside, braking very late, going a bit deep, but we've got the move done. But he's gonna try a switchback move, but I think the Renault engine will not be fast enough on the straight to compete with the Ferrari engine. And that should be me up into P9. Very bold move, I must admit. I don't know why I went for that, but it's worked out, and I've kept the position. And now only Roman Grosjean is separating me, and then there's also already a Red Bull, so we're already coming close to the top cars here on lap 4. But yeah, we now jump further into the race, still into lap 4 though. Once again to the back straight here, another opportunity to make a move, this time obviously still on Roman Grosjean for P8. And up ahead are Daniel Ricciardo and a Force India. I think it might be Esteban Ocon, but we'll see who it ends up being. Using Rich Mix now, going to the outside actually, into the final corner, into turn 15, around the outside of Roman Grosjean, and that should be a move done. Actually, no, he's still there, but on the exit I've gotten a better exit, and now I should be able to stay in front, but he's very close to me actually, really using all of the slipstream there, but I think I'll manage to stay in front. It's up ahead, Ricciardo and Ocon are fighting. Is it Ocon? Yeah, it's Ocon. Ricciardo and Ocon going side by side through the first 2 turns, and Ricciardo has taken a position, so I'm now trying to make a move on the Force India of Esteban Ocon. Yeah, it's now yellow flags up ahead actually, so somebody is pulling off the road there. It's Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas has some sort of issue, and his race is over, which allows me to take a free position up into P7. And yeah, that actually puts the podium into the cars if I can get both Red Bulls and both Force India. So yeah, I don't even have to really take the proper top teams in Hamilton and Raikkonen, or the other proper top teams. I think Red Bull is quite a way behind Ferrari and Mercedes in this game actually. As we now use Rich Mix, Ocon saving some ERS there, and that's going to allow me to move to its outside into the final turn. Brake very late, try and get a good exit here as we need to get the move done really. Already 5 laps into the race, and I move around that of Esteban Ocon up into P6. Next car up ahead would be Daniel Ricciardo in his Red Bull. Let's see if I can get a move on him working soon. Now as we jump to lap 6, I was going to pit this lap, but my teammate Kimi Räikkönen is in the pit lane, so I can't. And yeah, that means obviously I'm gonna be doing an overcut. I would prefer to go for an undercut because the super softs last for a long while in a 25% race. Verstappen stayed out as well as Ricciardo's in the pit lane, so that's moved me up into P2. And we now jump to the end of the lap where I will be going into the pit lane myself. Yeah, just as I said, end of lap 7 now. I've already got quite a big gap to Esteban Ocon, so the Ferrari is definitely a much faster car than the midfield. Obviously 110 AI, they should be quite fast, the AI. I shouldn't be pulling away from them in similar machinery. So I doubt I'll be able to catch Raikkonen and Hamilton at the front. But I think a podium could be on the cards if I can get both Red Bulls. Verstappen wasn't too far ahead of me, and I think he is right now in effective P3. As I'm being held in the pit lane now, it's gonna really cost me actually. Cost me probably a few positions at the end. We will see where I come out. But obviously these guys all still have to pull into pit boxes. And right now I'm in P4, but will I lose any more positions coming out of the pits? Where is Daniel Ricciardo? He was right ahead of me before the pit stop. There comes the car on my left hand side, is Daniel Ricciardo, and I'm now into P5. So yeah, only the 2 Red Bulls separating me from a podium. I don't know when I overtook Paris, but I guess in the pit lane maybe. Yeah, we will see. But now up to P5, jumping to the end of lap 8, right behind the Red Bull of Daniel Ricciardo. And yeah, it's only him and Max Verstappen separating me from that podium, as I've said about 20 times already. Why do I keep saying that? But yeah, now making the move on Daniel Ricciardo, using the super soft tires, and actually getting past on the straight already. So the Renault engine that Red Bull was still using back then was definitely much slower than the Ferrari engine. I think that's allowed me to make quite an easy move on Daniel Ricciardo. As we now jump into lap 9, you can see I'm closing in on Max Verstappen here, obviously using these super soft tires to my advantage. And yeah, these guys obviously on the harder tire, and my tires are fresher as well, but not, I think Max Verstappen pitted on the same lap as me actually, so not fresher. But yeah, we are actually quite close to him, not quite close enough to go for a move, but I do it anyway! Diving down the inside here, very late on the brakes, just about getting slowed down. A lot of almost on the exit, but I do manage to save it, and that is me up into P3, 11 seconds behind the leaders though, with only 5 laps to go. I think P3 will end up being the maximum in this race, and yeah, we now jump into the last lap, and as I said, no chance of catching them if they're 11 seconds ahead. But yeah, it will be Hamilton who wins the race. As you can see in the top left, Raikkonen is in P2, so obviously it has to be Hamilton leading the race. They're actually quite close, as you can see on the minimap there. So yeah, Raikkonen, good job from him to keep up with Hamilton, but in the end wasn't enough. And Lewis Hamilton wins the Malaysian Grand Prix. Raikkonen finishes second, and Sebastian Vettel, or me, comes down in P3 after starting in last place. Yeah, well, that was a very enjoyable race actually. I think this is a really good game, and it's been very fun. Now I will leave you with the podium.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm going to go for Sebastian Vettel. People have suggested before that he can't race wheel to wheel, but as he showed today, it's nonsense.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So yeah, with that, only 6 seconds behind the leaders at the end, so I think I could have actually gotten them with a faster pit stop, getting through the early traffic a bit better. But yeah, I think P3 is a very good result, and it was very enjoyable, this race. It was very fun to go back to F1 2017. I might do this in a few more games, perhaps F1 2012. But yeah, it's only a few days left until the new game actually comes out, so I don't know if I will actually be able to make a video on more old F1 games. But yeah, it was very enjoyable, and I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I hope to see you again in my next video, whenever that will be. Yeah, bye bye.